Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at the Cybercrime Conference at IGE 2009 at Earls Court in London. I'm joined by Maksym. Maksym, thanks for joining me. You've given a presentation, the keynote this morning, on the shadow economy. Can you start by explaining what the shadow economy is?
Right, shadow economy is the latest development in the online threats that exist nowadays. Shadow economy is like a market. It's something where you can go to and buy anything you need to execute your online threats and online scams and sell the proceeds of that and convert it into real money. It's very similar to your high street, where if you go to a clothing shop where you buy clothing, you go to a bookshop to buy your books, and you might establish your own shop to sell things that you have. Very similar to in the shadow economy. You go to certain forums to buy certain goods and sell things that you have.
Okay, and it's a big economy, clearly.
It is a big economy, very much so, yes, and people are benefiting a lot from it. There's an estimation that at some stage it became even bigger than the world's drugs trade.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, and what kind of specific threats is the gaming industry exposed to from this economy?
A lot, actually. In fact, we are seeing quite a significant rise in password stealers, online screen scrapers. So password stealers, what they do is they look for passwords to specific accounts, whether it's online poker accounts, whether it's betting accounts, things like Ladbrokes, Coral, etc., etc. And screen scrapers, the tools that are used to take the screenshot of your system at a certain time, and sometimes they might be used to just pick on your cards.
Wow, okay. And what kind of threat level are we at now? It sounds like we're at a pretty high level.
As far as online betting goes, the threat level is increasing every day. It would be amber, I agree with you. However, overall threat level is less than that, and the online betting threats are only a part of the bigger picture.
Okay, and obviously you're all about combating those threats. How can the industry deal with those threats? How can they manage those liabilities?
Well, that's a very good question. Within the industry, I believe that a lot needs to be done around the multi-factor authentication, around educating the end users. Perhaps if I were to pick up one most important point, it would be educating the end users. Because if the end users do not understand what kind of threats they are subjecting themselves to, no matter how good the technology is, it might not be able to completely prevent the crimes. However, the technologies that help are, as I said, multi-factor authentication, endpoint security, and of course managed services like MessageLabs provides.
Okay, and in terms of educating those users, how can that process happen? Is that something that MessageLabs enables the online gambling site to do, or do you work directly with the users? How does that happen?
Right. So in terms of educating the users, one way we are doing it is through conferences, through talking to media, through promoting this idea that the best way to prevent yourselves prevent your computers from being infected and yourselves from being exposed to online scams is by using common sense. That's the way that is most reliable, and of course you need to use additional technologies to make it easier for you. So we do that through talking to media, through speaking at conferences, things like that.
Okay, and you talked in your presentation about the bad guys. Yeah, what kind of people are the bad guys, and what kind of things are they getting up to?
There's a lot of interesting stories I could share. One of them, for example, is about a bad guy who established one of the shadow economy places, one of the forums where other bad guys were selling, buying, and exchanging information. That guy was a national of Ukraine, in fact. He founded the website called cardplanet.com, and apparently at the time when he founded it, he was something like, if memory serves me well, 21 years old. There was an attempt to prosecute him, however he was bailed out pretty fast, and the prosecution was never taken any further. Some of the experts believe that there might have been some bribes involved.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Well, Maksym, it was a really fascinating presentation. Interesting to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.